I'm the Gumbuck, this is the finals, and in today's episode, we're going to be going over update 3.6.0, and it's a big one, actually, this time. I'm super excited for this because we are finally getting some changes, some reworks to the cash out mode to try to improve it, improve on some of the things that might have been causing issues, and a drop may be contributing into the player count, but that's, another story for another video. But first off, I want to just thank everybody who's subscribed to the channel. You guys are super awesome. Thank you so much. We also have a Discord, so there's a link for that if you want to join up. And we get gaming, man. We do private matches. We've got like a random loadout generator that you could take part in if you want to. And just, man, we just get after it. So it's a lot of fun. But without further ado, let's get into the patch. Okay, so here we have the update 3.6.0, and it says, let the games begin. We hope you're warmed up and ready, contestants, because the next stop on the World Tour is the Volpe Championships, and it's offering some contracts and exclusive sports gear rewards. We're also running brand new Twitch drops throughout the World Tour stop, so make sure you tune in for some of the finals on Twitch TV. So that's cool. They're trying to get a little more activity on Twitch. I'm feeling that. The sponsors are in full swing, fighting over exposure in this week's store update. Check it out below. All right, so full swing. Let's see what we got here. Summer's in full swing and vacation times are in full effect, but this week has some rather substantial changes and bug fixes. In the Volpe Championships, we're upping the amount of money you can earn per elimination and cash out, and granting your team part of the vault value immediately when initiating a cash out. We're also completely removing cash penalties from team wipes, making sure these changes... sorry. Make sure you try these changes out and let us know what you think. All right, so we'll get a little more into what those changes are. They did some bug fixes for the controller, aim assist, yada, yada, yada. So let's just get into these fixes. So balance changes. The goo grenade. Increase the time it takes to fire... God dang, man, it's early in the morning. I'm having some trouble reading here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. It's harder for me to read in the first place, but it's bright and early. It's 4:36 a.m. where I am at. So increase the time it takes to fire. Oh god. Increase the time it takes for fire to destroy goo from 6 seconds to 12 seconds. So they doubled that. It's the same thing with the goo gun. With this kind of interesting in a way, right? Because like let's say power shift or something, you crowd the platform with goo and you light it on fire. While it takes longer to destroy the goo, that's effectively longer that it will be present to burn other contestants, like enemy contestants that are on the plat, just as an example. So it's kind of interesting. All right, cash out. These are the big changes of this patch. I mean, there's some terminal attack patches, but nobody cares, and we'll talk about that in a second. So increased cash awards for kills from 200 to 500. So a little bit of a higher incentive to get kills, or when you get kills, there's a little bit bigger of a reward there. Then this one here, so 30% of the cash in a cash box or vault is now awarded to the team that deposits the cash box the moment it is added to the cash out station. So now, the remaining 70% of the cash box is awarded when the cash out is completed at the cash out station. These values are rounded off to give easier to understand values. This replaces the previous $2,000 that were awarded to the team who initiated the cash out. So what this really means is, like, for the 10K, for Vault 1, when you install, you now get 3K. And if you are the person to be holding the cash box when the timer runs out, you will get 7K. So instead of 10 for holding it, you will get 7. So they kind of split up what that vault is worth in a way. And then so for the 15 for the second vault, which is 15K, if you install it, you'll get 30% of that is 4.5K. And if you are holding it at the end, you will get 10.5K. And then, of course, for the 22 or the third vault, the $22,000 vault, you'll get 6.6K for install and 15.4K for, I don't know if they'll round that. I don't know how it's going to work, for successfully holding the cash box at the end of the timer. This is all in the spirit of trying to inhibit or de-incentivize, it's decentivize, right? The third-party plague that some people complain about. And then, so for here, they removed all cash loss penalties from team wipes. I don't know how I feel about this. You know, let's take a time out. Let's do a Gumbug rant, all right? So what I love about the game subsequently is what some people, I think, hate about the game. And what I love about the game, and when I say the game, I'm talking Cashout, because to me, that is the flagship mode for the finals. It just felt fresh. You know, when I first played the finals, I actually hated it. The first day, I did not like it. A friend of mine asked me to play it. I played it just for him, just because we're friends, and I was like, this game fucking sucks. And I think that a lot of people kind of felt that way. Obviously, the player count reflects that to some degree, right? But I kept playing. I kept playing to play with him because we're friends and we were like giving it a go. I was like, I'll give it another try. I played on day 2. And after I started to understand the game, I actually fell in love with it. You know, aside from just like the movement and the gunplay, it's the 4D chess that takes place in the macro decisions with Cashout that I absolutely loved, because it was a mode you had to really think. It wasn't just about pew 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 pew, shoot, kill, win. You had to contemplate and make decisions. You know, decisions will win a game. And also there's some RNG, of course, just depending on the decisions that other teams and other, you know, players make. But it was really cool to me to try to, you know, basically position yourself to get first or second to try to move forward in the tournament mode. And it all depended on, you know, do you open a vault? Do you defend a vault from its last install to hold on to your position? And then some of the big parts of that too were like, okay, we gotta wipe this team, and so we can cause a penalty to them to allow us to progress forward, right? So there was all these different things in decisions and position making that made that game mode complex, very complex, but at the same time for me, very fun. You know, I came from just a long history of playing Halo, and I was playing Halo Infinite prior to this game. And always and forever, my favorite modes in Halo were, it wasn't deathmatch, it was all the objectives. I love capture the flag, I love oddball, just because there was more things going on than just killing other teammates, or, you know, killing the opposing team. It was, of course, killing them, making sure they stayed at the death screen, but there was decisions, there was strategy, there was positioning in order to, you know, effectively run the flag back to your base to get the win, to get the W. Like, it added complexity to the game, and I loved the complexity. I loved the decision making. It made me think, you know, and that's what I loved about Cashout. I had to think. I had to think a lot. I had to think hard. I had to pay attention. I had to like constantly pull up the tab screen to see who's where, who's fighting, who's up, who's down, where teams are, when they respawn, where are the respawns. And if you start to learn the game in that way, you can thwart off third parties a lot better. You know, if you're paying attention to that screen, that tab screen, or, you know, whatever it is for Xbox or PS5, the screen essentially that shows the scoreboard, you can get some level of recon that gives you some level of reconnaissance, and you can determine like where people are and what they're doing. What's the probability of a team third partying you? How do you handle that? Sure, there was some really ratty things in terms of people just like hiding out, waiting till the last second to go steal a cash box. That's not really the intent of how the game should be played. However, it's an exploit. And when people are trying to get to the tip of the spear and they're playing ranked, they're gonna do the exploits, of course. But the best games are when I'm playing private matches with my friends and family, because nobody's doing the exploits and they're just playing the game for the way it was intended, and those always ended up being the most fun games to me. But alas, that's just part of it. Getting third party is just part of the game. And once you accept that, understand that, and then start to use it and maneuver it and learn about the probabilities and like how to just essentially position yourself or work to position yourself for the most success potential, I just loved it. It was so good to me, so good to me. But also, lot of people hated it because a lot of people wanted, when they play games, I think they don't want to think that hard. I think the average gamer wants to just mindlessly jump into something and do deathmatch. That's why Bank It kind of turned into a deathmatch mode, and that's what players are looking for. I kind of wish that the Embark would just give the people a deathmatch mode, just to, pander to them, and then leave Cashout, the complex mode, for us to think through. I really wish they would do that. Also, multiple ranked modes. Why not? Halo had multiple ranked modes. They had SWAT ranked. They had Sniper Shoddy ranked. Maybe I don't know enough, right? So maybe there's not enough player count to allow for multiple ranked modes. I don't know. I don't know why you couldn't, but hey, I don't know everything. That's for damn sure. So that's kind of how I feel about Cashout. I loved it. I grew to love it because it was very complex, but that's kind of the double-edged sword. Its complexity could turn a lot of players off, and I think it did. And there's a whole story to why I think the player count dropped, which maybe I'll make a video on. So anyways, sorry about that. If you're still here, if you're still watching, you're the real MVP. Let's continue on. So they updated the vault spawning logic at the start of the match for a more even distribution. This is a big deal. This is something I've been saying for quite some time in terms of like making sure that at the beginning of a match, the four teams, they're equidistant to a given vault. So because you get a bonus for first touch on the vault. And some, a lot of times it was so RNG or random. There's teams that were spawning 50 meters from the vault while you spawned 250 meters from the vault. It just never seemed fair. It was just too random, especially for something that gives you an incentive to win. I thought that they really should have worked hard to ensure that at the beginning of a match, when the match just starts and is fresh, everybody is equidistant or equally distant from the given vault that they're closest to give a very fair chance to get first touch. So I hope this is what that means, because that's a good change. Added new notification messages to the HUD when cash is awarded to a team. Okay, that's cool. Increase the time taken to steal a cash out from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. That is interesting. Going to see how that plays out. So, dev note here. We felt for some time that Cashout generates more third-party fights than intended, as well as long-lasting team versus team encounters. And that happens to be in part because of the incentives of the scoring system. We are testing the changes above to see if they address these issues and improve the overall experience. These changes have been selected as a rule set for the Volt-B Championships. We'll monitor how they perform via telemetry and your feedback, and will adjust them as needed. All right, so I think the long-lasting team versus team encounters isn't necessarily, I don't think this has anything to do with incentives that were in place in the mechanics of the game, and more just the decisions of the players. Because, early on when I first started playing this, that's what would happen. I'd encounter a team and we'd play till they died kind of deal. And that did lead to long-lasting fights, which led to imbalances in terms of when cash outs were installed, which would change the tempo of the game. You guys all know this, right? Of like, cash out A has been started, it's halfway done before cash out B is even installed, and then you install cash out B, and that basically creates a snowball effect where you not only get third party, but you get fourth party, because the team who successfully got cash out A now has enough time to go to B and also try to steal that one. That's still going to happen, because this is more about players engaging for too long rather than allowing, if a team is first touch and they're running it, I'm not really engaging. I'm kind of just hawking them down, chasing them down, maybe some chip damage. Or there's a lot of times where I'm like, hey, don't take this fight. I'm talking to my team. I'm saying, don't take this fight. Don't take this fight. Let's get out of here and change positions. Again, that's big brain. That's macro. That's decision making. That's complexity to this. So I don't know how this is going to change, how these changes will affect this, but nonetheless. So the greatest part about this is that they're trying. They're trying. Initially when they announced that Terminal Attack was the ranked mode, everybody threw up the middle finger and was super pissed about this, because the people who are still here are the people who love cash out, right? and then they kind of effectively took that away from us in OA. And I think it was only due to the feedback, the lash out after that announcement, that they later came out with a statement the next day like, oh, whoa. You know, Cashout is still our flagship, game mode. We just did this because we wanted to make some changes. But yet we're 7 weeks in before we see any changes. So I don't know if that was their initial intent. And then they were like, oh shit, we better do some changes, right? Because if they wanted to make some changes to Cashout, and that was their intent, they should have done this week 1. They should have said, hey, we are making TA ranked because we want to spend this season testing Cashout changes. Here's the first iteration of that in week 1. Let's get to test it because, we only have this season to test. So this is a little late, and it seems incongruent with that decision. But nonetheless, we finally got one. Here's what I think. I've heard, I'm not the only person to say this. I think one big change that would help third partying is actually change the mechanic of which you earn money while holding a cash out. So instead of only awarding the cash out or cash at the end of a cash out, that they give incremental awards for time held. So if you hold it for a quarter of the time, like let's say you get the initial install and then you held it for half, then you get half of what that cash out reward is with a small bonus for at the end. So if you hold it 3/4 of the time, let's say you get, I don't know, I haven't really thought this through in terms of the numbers, but just for sake of discussion, let's say you get 7K for holding it 3/4 of the time. And then at the end, if you're the one to hold it, you get the last 3K, or let's say you're a stealing team, maybe you get 4K or 5K just for stealing it and then getting a bump at the end of that. I think that would kind of change the third party thing, but again, that would need some testing. All right, moving on. Ranked terminal attack. Destruction is now reset at halftime without needing to reload the level. Dev note, this should give a smoother experience and reduce downtime. That's cool for people who play terminal attack. Okay, terminal attack and ranked terminal attack. Added health regeneration thresholds to archetypes of terminal attack or the different contestants, meaning players will now regenerate up to a specific threshold based on if they're light, medium, or heavy, rather than the fixed 100. I think this is a good change. It's still not weighted evenly, but now when you regen your health in terminal attack, lights will go to 100 as usual, mediums will go to 125, and heavies will now get up to 150. Still not a ratio that matches light because 100 HP is only 50 HP than light's maximum, but nonetheless, they said here, we feel this change will help level the playing field as well as reduce the effectiveness of poke damage with weapons like the sniper rifle. We feel this change will better represent the variety of the contestants. So I think this is a good change. Not a fan of terminal attack, but for those who are into it, this is probably a good change. Okay, let's go to the specializations. Evasive dash got a nerf. They increased the cooldown duration from 5.5 seconds to 6.5 per charge. So this is a nerf to evasive dash, which kind of sucks because I love evasive dash. I know once they started to buff some of the other things like throwing knives, evasive dash got some more love. It's always been my favorite. I've always been a dash player or dash light rather than a camo light, but so there's that. There's a nerf to evasive dash. Goo gun, same thing. They increased the duration or the time it takes for fire to destroy the goo. They doubled it from 6 to 12. Grapple hook got some love. Grapple hook got a little bit of a buff. They decreased the cooldown duration from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. So you can hit that grapple hook a little sooner. I don't know why they didn't just give it 2 charges. I think that's the play, but gotta change. Here's kind of a big one too. Healing beam nerf. They decreased the time taken until a healing beam can overheat. So now instead of 7 seconds to overheating, it's 5.5 seconds to overheating. So I think that's kind of a big change right there. We'll see how that affects in-game. But yeah, overheating is something that the healing beam users rarely have to manage. So they've lowered the time to overheat, which means players will be slightly more controlled in their use of it. Interesting. 93R, let's go to weapons. So 93R, the 93R sucks so bad. And they've tried to make it not suck so bad. So they slightly decreased bullet dispersion when firing from all hip in all stances, making the weapon more accurate. They decrease the amount of horizontal recoil, which I felt like the recoil is basically non-existent, but they're trying to make it easier to control and more precise. And then slightly tighten the cluster of bullets fired in a burst, making the weapon more precise. Here's the thing they're missing though, a damage buff. You know, I think they just need to make that thing hit harder. But this is a step in the right direction for the 93R, I guess. All right, so they've got a bunch of content and bug fixes, which I'm not going to go through all of them. In fact, there was nothing in here really that noteworthy that I thought we needed to talk about. So yeah, oh yeah, wait, here's one. So the terminal attack RS gained, so this is for the ranked scores. They're going to be more calculated for parties, essentially making it where if you're like a better team, you will get less RS for whooping up on a crap, like a not so good team. And if you're a not so good team and you beat a stronger team, you will get more RS. So yeah, that just makes more sense. I don't know why that wasn't there in the first place. Let's see, you know, there's some stuff here where specializations and weapons and utilities were locked and players were unable to use them. A lot of times you had to kill yourself to be able to reuse it or use some of those things. So evidently they fixed that. And they messed around with the infinite loading screen. I know I've gotten stuck there a couple of times where I've had to restart my client. Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about here. So in the Reddit, there was a leak. Let's take a look at that. Now this was basically leaked from the community live stream. From my understanding, people were watching the community live stream, and things that were said in that live stream, they extrapolated that and then put that into a post. And some of the stuff were the changes to Cashout, but this is kind of the important one here. Let's read it. Embark have heard. Embark has heard. Embark have heard loud and clear that ranked terminal attack isn't everyone's favorite mode to play in ranked. They can't remove ranked in the middle of a ranked season as people progress, and they don't want to invalidate their grinding. At the start of Season 4, there will be a competitive experience for Cashout. Okay, so they're basically like, yeah, we got it, guys. You didn't want this, nobody wanted this, and nobody asked for this, and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna go back to the bread and the butter. So good, I'm glad they're hearing that. You know, here's one thing I want to show you something. This is kind of interesting that I found out about ranked. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Okay, so here is the ranked leaderboard. And if you're in the top 500 ranked, you do get the ruby. Let's change this to 100, right? So the top 500 people are awarded ruby for ranked. Let's go to the bottom and we'll go to page 5. So here's your top 500. Now here's something interesting. Below that, the person that's right below the top 500 is platinum. There is no diamonds at all. What does that tell us? Think about that, right? There's not even enough people playing to populate the diamond rank. I know the top 500 is technically diamond, but they are also ruby, right? And so 501, the 501th placed person right here, old T-Buns, good for you T-Buns, you're a G. They're only platinum. So there's not even enough people playing ranked to actually fully flesh out and populate a diamond. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying here? That says something. That says something. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about that? Okay, let's go take a look at the store and some of the stuff in game. Okay, so kind of a light store that we got this patch. We do, of course, have the neutral corner. So we've got some more boxing gear. You know, this is cool. I like this better than the other boxing set that we have that they gave us. But it's not for me. It's not for me. And you can individually, let's check out the about though. Oh, big overhand right. Big overhand right. Okay, all right, put them up, baby. You know, that's going to be a G, one grand, 1K if you want to get that. If you want to get the this new boxing gear, this is cool looking. It's just not for me. It's not my swag. And then now we have the looking sharp set. This is kind of cool too. I mean, it is sharp. It's pretty clean. It's just not my style. You know, I don't know, white kicks there. Let's see what we got. The bow is pretty cool though. I'd like to see some, you know, the Proto set, I believe it was, the last bow that they came out last week with the mech. I thought that was the coolest bow that they've done. But that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Let's see what we got here. Little luck of the draw. I like that. I like that. I like that one. Yeah. I'm going to sit on that, though. I'm not sure I'm going to get it, but that's cool. That's cool. Got some glasses there. Yeah, okay. All right. That was it. Now, I thought there was like a shot. Oh, here we go. I knew there was one more. Dude, that's kind of dope. That's kind of dope. I'm not a big fan of the KS, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool. All right. That's $850 for the set. That's $850 for the set. And you know, that's it for the store, ladies and gents. That's what is this? What is this? Whoa, hold on. Did I just totally miss that? Where is that in here? Oh, dude. Yo. This is freaking sick. Oh my gosh. Definitely take my money. And this got some like Ranger vibes, a little bit of Destiny-ish, kind of almost. This is I'm definitely getting this. I think this is one of those though that you gotta like, okay, so cost 19 or 20 bucks. You're gonna have to like buy it through the store as opposed to like the in-game currency. But this, definitely hands down the best skin for the spear. Oh my gosh, this is radical. Yes. Let's see what we got here. Oh, dude, 100%. Take my money. Metro Drifter set. Ooh, yeah, definitely. Wow. Okay. All right, that's it for the update. This was a big one. Oh my gosh, it was so cool. Yo, if you like the finals as much as I do, stay tuned because I'm just a finals exclusive creator. I'm trying to stream like more like every day kind of deal. We do a lot of custom matches. I'm gonna get some World Tour in there. I definitely want to test these changes out. I'm gonna stream today. So yo, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.